when Ford debuted the EcoSport back in... Sorry, wrong script. That is what I said when I reviewed the updated EcoSport last year. Now, link to that is in the I button up there and in the description below. So make sure you check that out after you're done watching this video. Now, this video is going to focus on the EcoSport S. Now, that S badge has always been reserved for the naughty boys in the Ford range. The question we are asking is this the EcoSport to buy if you are an enthusiast? Is that 85,000 rupee premium truly and well justified? Answers to those questions and a whole lot more coming up in this video. Here are 5 things you need to know about the 2018 Ford EcoSport S. Let's get started.
But before we carry on, don't forget to subscribe and click the little bell to stay notified.
The EcoSport S is based on the top-spec Titanium Plus variant, so it borrows all the good stuff from it, including cruise control, automatic air conditioning, and that 8-inch touchscreen with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay and Sync 3, while adding a whole lot more. First, you get a sunroof. Here's a public service announcement: don't let your kids, your friends, your relatives or anyone in general stick their head out of it. It is plain dangerous. Second, remember that bland MID we cribbed about in the first drive video of the EcoSport? Well, thankfully it's gone now. It now gets a bigger MID that displays a lot of information. Again, it is the subtler touches here, like those 2 chrome rings around the speedometer and the tachometer, that just adds that premium touch. What's also nice are these color coordinated accents that you see here, and the devil is in the details, as they say. So you also get orange stitch on the steering wheel and on the seats. On the outside, we've got smoked out headlamps that now house HIDs. The grille loses all that chrome and gets a sporty looking mesh pattern. Finally, there are these new 17-inch alloy wheels. It is low-profile rubber we're talking about, so please slow down if you spot a pothole. On a related note, to make space for the S, the Titanium Plus has lost some of its goodies. It no longer gets the 17-inch wheels, and the TPMS, that is the tire pressure monitoring system, has been removed as well. But a bigger change is under that bonnet. The EcoBoost is back. Now, with the EcoSport S, Ford's award-winning EcoBoost engine has made a comeback. Now, I know what you're thinking, because on paper that 1-liter 3-cylinder engine seems a bit too small for a car this size and heft. But you would be surprised at what this engine can really do. Now, you've got roughly the same amount of horsepower as the bigger 1.5-liter engine, but the bigger highlight here is that extra 20 Nm of torque. Now, that makes its presence felt all the time. Now, whether you're crawling inside the city or cruising out on the highway, that's something you will appreciate. Now, if there was another highlight to this engine, I'd say it is its drivability. The clutch, it isn't the lightest units around, but it's not something that would give your calf a workout either. And then there's the fact that even when the turbo isn't spooled up, you aren't bogged down by a lot of lag. You can go light on the throttle and the car has no issues maintaining pace, and this is something you'd appreciate when you're stuck in bumper to bumper traffic. Shift up, prod on the gas, and you'd feel the engine making swift progress. Sure, it doesn't really pin you to the back of the seat, but it does feel effortless in the way it picks speed. Also, like most turbo petrols, there's hardly any point in redlining it. Its strength lies in its punchy mid-range, and that is a good thing, because at highway speeds, that's exactly where you're going to be. At 100 km an hour in 6th, the motor is ticking around 2400 RPM. Stepping on the gas at this point gives you all of that 170 Newton meters of torque, which is plenty for a quick overtake. You don't really have to play around much with the new 6-speed gearbox then. Not that we'd mind that too much. The shift action is slick and it does feel like a full generation ahead of Ford's old IB5 gearbox that's been around for donkey's years now. Now, if only this gearbox was made available on the diesel as well. Okay, I agree that was a super lame name for the segment, but surprise, surprise, Ford hasn't messed with the steering or with the suspension of the EcoSport S. It is identical to what you'd find on the Titanium Plus. Ford's reasoning for not tinkering with the springs though seems totally justified. The EcoSport is already stiffly sprung that just about cuts it for everyday drives. Stiffening it further would have made the ride borderline uncomfortable in their books. Now, as far as steering is concerned, Ford says it didn't feel like the car needed a quicker steering rack. The steering does feel familiar. It's got the right amount of weight inside the city or on the highway and almost never requires any corrective input. Well, if you were eyeing the Titanium Plus model, the S, priced at Rs 11.37 lakh for the EcoBoost and Rs 11.89 lakh for the diesel, is going to cost you an extra 85,000. So that's that. 5 things you should know about the most expensive EcoSport on sale. Let's quickly wrap things up then. So should the enthusiast be buying the EcoSport S? Well, first things first, that 1 litre engine, it is definitely peppier compared to the 1.5 litre Dragon motor. But do not think it has magically transformed the EcoSport in any manner. In fact, even with this Sporty engine, the highlight is still its tractability and its easy to drive nature, whether it's on the city or on the highway. In fact, it would make for a great everyday commuter too if it wasn't for those 17-inch wheels and that stiff ride quality. So with this S at least, you can clearly see that Ford's focus has been on delivering a feel-good experience with the added features, if not an outright sporty experience. Now, if it was left up to us, we'd possibly drop the ride height, slap on a set of grippier tires and trade in some of the EcoSport's versatility for some more fun. But Ford's not done that in the interest of making sure that the EcoSport S appeals to a wider set of audience. And that brings us to the most important question. Does the EcoSport S feel like it's justifying that added 85,000 rupees? Now, if you really want the EcoBoost, or if you have to have the top-end version of a car with the sunroof, you can pick the EcoSport S. It does make for a very solid package. But if you want nothing but a compact SUV to commute inside the city and you're okay trading off some features for it, we'd suggest you save some cash and pick the Titanium Plus variant instead.